the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law to make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 would not happen again. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements. I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, they rolled back the regulations, but on a small group of banks. It wouldn't even affect the size bank. It wouldn't even affect it. That is so unbelievable to blame Trump when the Democrats, as well as the Republicans, both agreed on the rollback of some of these regulations that weren't necessary, that were tying down these banks. They were hurting these banks, hurting the economy. But it wasn't anything that was going to blow the banks up. That's not why the banks blew up and are going to get worse. By the way, what really gets me grumpy, do you ever notice that this administration, Powell, and even the fake Business News Network, they're not calling this a crisis, a banking crisis. 2008, they called the banking crisis. In 2008, are you kidding me? This crisis, this banking crisis, 2023, is far worse than 2008. Are you nuts? Are you kidding? Remember, QE is what blew this whole banking mess up. It was QE. It was all the printing of money. It created all this inflation. Everything. You want to see the blame? The blame goes back to QE. I mean, when you're taking a stock market and you're running a stock market 1,200%, and the economy's growing 1.4%. I said this yesterday. That's where the blame should be, right there. Who would allow QE, which is the way to financially engineer a market, to go up without earnings? Who in their right mind would allow that to happen when the economy wasn't growing? You've got to have an economy grow at least 3.5%. It was 1.4%. 0.4%. Wasn't even that high. If you average, it was really 1.1%. And so from 2008 to November 22, the NASDAQ went up, the Qs went up 1,200%, and the economy wasn't growing. That's the problem. Now, let me tell you something else that they don't want you to know, these gangsters. Unbelievable. They've been masking these problems since 2014 for a reason. See, this banking crisis is far worse because in 2014, when the banks weren't making money, we talked about this before, making profits because they kept interest rates too low for too long, the Senate, House, and Banking Committee, the chairwoman, Brown, and, of course, Warren, they met with the banks and said, okay, we understand your problem. So why don't you do this? Go and buy 10-year treasuries because you can't make money on 2-year treasuries because the yields are too low. Well, the 10-year treasuries weren't much better than the 2-year treasuries. So Warren and the Senate and House and Banking Committee all agreed, why don't you go and buy these 10-year treasuries? But where would they get the money? Where would they get the money? Well, they would get it from the depositors. Well, wait a minute. They tried that in 1929. Remember, 1929, the reason why the crash happened in 1929 because the banks took all the depositors' money and invested it, and the investments all blew up, and 1929 crash came in. And then right after that, they put in the Glass-Steagall Act so that couldn't happen again. So Warren's sitting there telling the banks, look, don't worry. Go and buy all the 10-year treasuries you want, knowing that at some point it was going to blow up because that was 2014. 2014 is when we started to identify that we had a real inflation problem from all the QE, all the money printing. And remember, it was 2015 when Aunt B turned around and started to raise rates because remember that she said, oh, it's transitory, inflation transitory. No, she saw the massive inflation from 2008 to 2014, 2015, she got it, she started to raise rates. So in the meantime, Warren and her pal on the banking committee, Senate Banking Committee, knew that sometime down the road, something's going to happen. When they start raising these rates, the short-term Fed rate to fight inflation, the profits they got on that 10-year treasuries would be upside down. But you know what they did? They said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go take the depositors' money. They're not going to care because guess what? The depositors' money's insured. It's all insured. So what they're basically saying is, we know your 10-year treasuries are going to be upside down at some point because we got to fight inflation. We got to raise the Fed short-term rates from 0 to 5%, which is going to take your profits away in your 10-year treasury, and all you banks are going to be upside down. But hey, let's not worry about it because we got to listen. We can't tell the people, American people, what's going on. We got to get these bills through. We got to get the American COVID Rescue Plan through. We got to get the Inflation Reduction Act through. We got to get the omnibus bill through. We got to get these through. If we told people what was going on, that the banks were in trouble, we would never get these through. And if we told them there was only that we had $91 trillion in deposits, and we only got $25 billion to cover it, you think they'd be passing these bills? They'd be calling their congressman, yelling at the screen, what the hell are you doing? So they knew they didn't have enough money, number one. And the FDIC didn't have enough money. They knew the 10-year treasuries would blow up. The banks would blow up with these 10-year yields because when you start raising rates, all the profits are gone. But they didn't care. They didn't care because they thought, even though they didn't have enough money, think about this. They knew the FDIC didn't have enough money to insure all but they still went for it. Because all they cared about was getting these social programs through and paying for them. And then they figured, we'll bail everybody out. Don't worry, we'll bail everybody out. And if the stock market goes down, we'll bail out the stock market too. We're just going to keep bailing everybody out of everything. Don't worry about it. Just shut up right now. Don't say a word. Go buy your damn treasuries, your 10-year treasuries. We'll worry about it later when it blows up. And the customers won't care because they think they're insured. They don't know there's not enough money in the FDIC. We know, but they don't. Hey, we'll figure it out. We'll bail them out too. Honest to God, this is what's happened. Can you believe this? And they're not calling this a banking crisis. And they're prosecuting Trump? Are you nuts? And he impeached him twice, once for a phone call? And this stuff is going on? What are you, insane? That's what's been going on, and they knew about all of this 2014, all the way up to the SVB blow-up.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
I think just generally the economy remains on good footing.
The economy's on a good footing. Let me ask you a question. If you're trying to cover $19 trillion in deposits, and all you have is $125 billion. So think about this. You got $125 billion, but you got to cover $19 trillion in deposits. And she has the nerve to say,
I think just generally the economy remains on good footing.
Economy's on good. Yeah. Good footing, all right. Good footing. Listen to this.
I will say, with respect to the NASDAQ, which is where everyone's focusing.
And rightly so. It's the way that tech stocks have just jumped ahead of everything.
Sure, but I spent a little time. When you dig beneath the headline, it's a little weaker than the headline suggests. So, like, for instance, if you break up the NASDAQ into quintiles, only the top quintile is up. All four of the other...
Oh, it's the quintile. I forgot. It's the quintile. Who knew? It's the quintile. Are they nuts? What a pack of liars. What a pack of liars. Remember, from 2009, the only reason that they could rally these tech stocks is because they printed massive amount of money to buy treasuries, to push those treasury yields down, the 10-year treasury yield down, so that the Federal Reserve, who sets their own rate, which is separate from the Treasury Department, the 10-year Treasury, you go to auction on those. But remember, they even printed money, and they went to the auction to drive those yields down so they could justify, when they set their own rate, when they dropped it from 5% to 0, so they could give the companies, the tech companies, and all the other companies, let's use the tech company, give them money at 0 interest so they could reduce their own shares that were outstanding so they could grow these stocks 1,200% because nobody cared about value. Tech stocks, you don't care about value. You don't care if you're paying $19 for every $1 of earnings or you're paying $100 for every one. Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody buys earnings. When you're buying tech stock, you're speculating. All you want to know, as long as I can keep borrowing money and interest free, I don't give a damn what the price of that stock is, Apple or any of them, or Microsoft or any of the banks. What do I care what the price is? Because as long as the money is free, there's another idiot like me right behind me. He's going to buy me out, and then somebody's going to buy him out. Everybody's got somebody behind them to buy him out because, again, it's like when most people, when they go to buy trailers, what are they? A good friend of mine, he owned a trailer a company where he sold all these trailers. I couldn't believe the money he made. He said, all people want to know is what the late payment is. As long as they know what the late payment is, I can sell all the trailers I want. It's the same thing. You could sell all the stock you wanted between 2008, tech stocks between 2008 or 2009 and 2022. That's why we're in deep trouble. That was the inflation that was blowing up the banks by keeping interest rates at zero for 13 years. That was killing us. That was killing us. When you keep interest rates that low for so long, the banks couldn't make money on their mortgages. The banks had a hard time making money on refis. And finally, when they weren't making money anymore, in 2014, that's when they went to the hell her name is, Pocahontas, Warren, and the head of the Senate Banking Committee, Brown, I think her name is. And everybody said, what are we going to do? They said, no problem. Hey, you want to make some extra money so you're making a profit? Buy some 10-year treasuries. Just buy 10 years. There's enough yield there. I mean, don't buy 2 years because you won't make any money with 2-year treasuries because the yields are too low. Yeah, I know the 10-year treasury is not much better, but you'll make money. So the banks started to buy these 10-year treasuries with these tiny yields. But what did Warren know? What did everybody on the Senate Banking Committee know? Everybody knew that the inflation was being created that pushed up these tech stocks 1,200% by purchasing all these, by printing all this money to purchase yields to get those yields down, and so that the Fed would drop their rates down to zero so that the companies can buy their own stock so there's less outstanding stock so they could raise. Remember, the more you buy of your stock, the more stock you get out of the market, earnings will go up. You don't have to do anything. They'll go up, and profits go up on their own. The stock price will go up with no profits. That's the way it works. And this is what they did. So in 2014, when the problem showed up, think the nerve they had. They just buy the 10-year treasury. Don't worry about it. When we start fighting inflation and Powell starts raising rates, don't worry about it. Because after all, you're taking the money from the depositors. They don't care. They're insured. They're insured. But they didn't know, and they knew that they only had 125 billion to cover 19 trillion. They knew they were in trouble then, but they didn't care. All they cared about the minute that Trump got elected was to impeach him, and all they cared about right after that was, can we get through the American COVID rescue plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Omnibus bill. That's all they wanted to get through. So now we have a banking crisis, and they won't admit to the banking crisis. And stocks. Have you seen in the last 2 days what's been happening with the bond yields? I mean, they're going nowhere now. After they drive them down from about 4.1% to 3.5%, they're going sideways. Just take a look at from the 28th and all of today, 29th on a chart. And they're going nowhere, going sideways. What's that mean? I'll tell you when we get back. Join my gang so you can take advantage of this market and make money instead of losing.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at
These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Easter eggs can be hidden treasures that are fun to discover by chance. But finding financial Easter eggs in the stock market takes experience. Secure your future with smart financial guidance from Phil Grandy. Now is the perfect time to have peace of mind when investing at philsgang.com.
We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Wall Street has benefited more than Main Street has?
I don't think so.
Wall Street, the congressman asked, did Wall Street benefit more than Main Street with QE? Oh, I don't think so. Really? The purpose of QE was to make sure that Wall Street benefited. Matter of fact, because of QE, and we didn't go into a recession, Main Street, they took from Main Street about $45 billion. $45 billion, $45 trillion, and shifted from Main Street up to Wall Street. That was the benefit of QE. That was the benefit, was to rip off Main Street. See, Main Street never benefited in QE. People on Main Street are out there benefiting from QE. Remember what QE is? Printing money, driving those yields down on your 10-year treasury so you can buy houses and all that. But the real purpose of driving the yield down so low on a 10-year treasury is to give the Federal Reserve an excuse to drive their yields from 5% down to 0 so they can do all these stock buybacks. How did Main Street benefit from that? Now, if you think about it, there's a natural order of things, right? Natural order of things. Example, nature. The jungle, right? There's a natural order of things in the jungle or in the mountains, whatever. And think about it. If things get screwed up, if you don't mess with it, over time the order comes back, right? Forest fires, a great example. Forest fires. If you don't screw with them, let them do their thing, they come back and it's greener than ever. Everything's fine. So economy is the same thing. If you don't screw with the economy, natural order of things, it'll come back. When debt and interest rates increase, like they did, amazing the amount of debt. We have a historic debt that caused historic inflation because of those three bills, the American COVID Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Omnibus Bill, created 40-year high inflation. So the economy had too much debt, interest rates were too high. That caused a significant decline in businesses, consumer spending. Businesses started to fall off. Manufacturing went to a 14-year low. Consumers couldn't spend anymore. They're tapped out. And there was a large decline in our economic GDP growth. 1.4%. We should be at least 3.5%. So that causes an imbalance. So the natural order is for the economy, and it always has been in the 70s and the 80s when you go into a recession. It's called a reset. The natural order, when the economy gets screwed up and implodes, it automatically resets. You know about the word recession. But being in this business, it's a reset. It resets automatically if you don't screw it. Now, yes, there's pain, i.e. a decline in income. People lose jobs. But here's the benefits. Okay, here's the benefits. Debt reduction. It forces debt reduction. Individuals, corporations, the government, they got to reduce debt. And here's the other thing. When you have these recessions, you weed out all the weak players. And that's good for the good companies. Because the weak players, there's too many weak players out there. And that means when you go to the bank to get money or whatever, you're competing with all these weak players. They're gone now. That makes the economy stronger. For too long, these companies have been dragging down these resources. So you get economic growth. When the strong survive. There's nothing wrong with recession. Yes, you got to go through the pain, but you come out of that recession like gangbusters. You come out with a trend of 5% GDP growth minimum, 6%. And then after about 6, 7 months, 8 months, it'll settle back to a normal growth of about 3.25%. That's terrific, but that didn't happen. They wouldn't let this fall into a recession. No, they didn't want it because Wall Street wanted to get their money back right away, the money they lost in 2008. And they wanted 10 times that. Not just get their money back, they wanted it multiplied 10 times, and they put Obama in office so he would do that for them. And that's why we went to QE instead of taking care of the economy. We took care of Wall Street. And we're paying for that right now. But you don't have to pay for that if you understand how the bond market works. If you understand how the bond market works and how the stock market works, which we teach our students every day, using our chart that tells us when if there's enough money going in, so the stock goes up, or if not enough money going in, the stock goes down. But if you combine the bond market, just like, for example, today, I was explaining to my gang members, look, if you go back and you look at last Friday, Thursday and Friday, we had this downtrend in bonds. If you look at the 10-year Treasury yield, the chart, we had this downtrend. We had about a 3-day beautiful trend, 3-day downtrend. So that would drive the tech stocks. So when we saw the 3-day trend going down, we took our color-coded chart that told us to start buying tech stocks. And the yields were going down for 3 days. The tech stocks started to go up. We used our color-coded chart. That would identify if there's enough money going into those stocks so they'd keep going up. Sometimes some of those stocks, there wasn't enough money going in because, remember, the institutional players aren't around like they used to be. Now, if then all of a sudden now they turned around and we saw the yields going up. And we had this one strong day. I think it was between the 27th and 28th. This one strong day. Yields were going up. That means they're pushing the bank stocks up. So we knew yield up, bank stocks would run. Took our color-coded chart, and we'd watched the money flowing into the bank stocks, and we picked out the bank stocks that were doing the best. Now what's been happening is the yields are going sideways. We've been stuck in this narrow range now for 2 days. For 2 days going sideways. Why? Because they got to find some catalyst. They need a story now. They can't find a story. Well, there's no story. You're screwed. We're going to make new lows. But remember, they continue to this financial engineering. They interfered in the free market, but that's okay. If you let us teach you how the bond yield works, so by watching the bond chart, you know which stocks to buy, which stocks to sell short, and use our color-coded chart, which backs it up. So, like we saw, what was the stock we bought? We bought, I think it was Goldman Sachs. So we knew when the yields were going up, we bought Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs was doing nice because we could see it on our color-coded chart. Enough money was going in, so we're making a profit on Goldman Sachs. Look at the bank stocks. We shorted all the bank stocks, and then we turned around and started to buy the bank stocks. So you can continually make money with this, with what's going on around this market, all this financial engineering, but you'll be fine. You just got to decide, do I want to learn how the market works? Or do you want to just listen to this dope and buy what he tells you to buy? Listen to this moron. Here he is. He's a dope.
Maybe the expectations have finally come down enough ahead of this quarter that stocks can rally in response to less than stellar numbers.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know where people think things are bad if everybody says things are so amazing. To me, we have the strongest economy perhaps I have ever seen.
Wrong on everything. He's always wrong. But guess what? Today, okay, if you're looking at a tech stock or you're looking at a bank stock, you would hold back and do nothing. Except if you want to be a day trader. More when I get back. Join my gang, philsgang.com. You don't have to take this crap.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot. at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang free for 10 days. Go to philsgang.com and click where it says Get Started, and then right next to it, how Pro 2 works, so you can see how the Pro 2 works. And I'm telling you, if you go and take a look at, for example, the 10-year Treasury chart and go back to last Wednesday, and you'll see last Wednesday we had a beautiful downtrend. Yields were dropping. And Thursday we had yields dropping. So we knew to buy the tech stocks. So we did. And we got nice profits in those. Then we turned around, and on Friday, they switched the yields. They wanted to start pushing the bank stocks. Now they had the tech stocks nice and comfortable above the 200-day moving average. They wanted to make sure they drove those above the 200-day moving average so they didn't have to worry anymore. Just artificially push them up there. So Friday they said, let's push the banks back up now. So Friday you start seeing the yields going up. Monday you see the yields going up. So we started to buy the banks. I made money on the banks. Now, you take Tuesday, the yields settled right down. Stopped going up, stopped going down. So you don't mess with it. Today, we had a little action up, a little action down, then the rest of the day we're going sideways again. Not worth messing with. So if you let us teach you how to read the bond chart, it only takes, in the 10 days free, you'll learn during that 10 days free. And then you have the color-coded chart that tells you, like Wednesday and Thursday, the stocks that we were buying, the tech stocks, because the yields were going down, we're buying the tech stocks. And you would see on my color-coded chart, when it turned green, it'd say, okay, Google had enough volume, had enough money going in it, so it would keep going up. But you look at another stock, I don't know, let's say Moo, and my color-coded chart turned red. It's telling you to stay away from Moo, even though the yields are going down and Moo should be going up, which is a semi. It says stay away from it. So you're going to always be right if you scope the market down. If you take your stocks that you work all the time, and that's what we do. We have our gang members buying tech and buying the banks and buying gold. Remember, as long as you're, like on Wednesday and Thursday, the yields are going down, we add it to our gold positions. Example, AU and GDX. AU up, we're about 15% in AU. We're up about 22% in GDX. GLD, another ETF, we're up about 6%. AU up 15%. So we knew when the yields were going down Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we knew that our golds, we'd be adding to our golds, and we knew we'd be buying tech stocks those 3 days. Wednesday and Tuesday, we bought tech stocks. We added to our tech stocks. We added to our gold stocks. Because we know it yields down, make sure you go after your gold stocks. Make sure you go after your tech stocks. And then on Friday and Monday, we started to see on Friday they were rotating out of the tech stocks and the gold stocks, and they're rotating to the bank stocks. So we can teach you this in 10 days. But you got to stop listening to the fake Business News Network. They're not telling you the truth about anything. Just like they never told you the truth starting in 2014 and never in 2015 when Yellen started to raise rates. Never did they tell anybody. I did. I said in 2018, it's over. This market's over. And I was right. But they didn't tell you that. It's always buy, 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 buy. Everything always buy, buy, buy. But you'll never get in trouble if you coordinate the bond market and the color 2 chart that follows the money going in and out. And then all you got to know is which stocks go up when yields go down, which stocks go down when yields are going back up the other way. The simplest thing is in this business, always keep your money in gold, oil, and your tech stocks. That means every time the yields are going down, you're always going to make money. So you know to be in gold, you know to be in big tech stocks. And as long as yields are going down, you're always going to be making money. And then when yields go up, go to the banks. If you stay in those stocks where all the money in this market is always in tech and it's always in banks. Then it comes oil, okay? And then, of course, gold. Now, remember, if you want to buy the stocks like the industrial stocks and the material stocks and auto stocks and stocks today we bought some. What did we buy? We bought a couple cruise line stocks today, but we know it's going to be over. I mean, we're only buying the cruise line stocks because we think they're going to continue to pushing up the yields. See, when yields are going up, what that tells the people in the market who are buying and selling stock, yields going up, that's telling them things are getting better. things are getting better. So they buy banks. So they buy cruise lines. Okay? They buy Target or Costco. But it doesn't always work that way. So if you have your bond market and you have your color-coded chart, you won't be at risk. And talking about at risk, think about this, what they did. How could they, in 2014, knowingly lie? Knowingly, they knew that by taking these banks and telling them to buy 10-year treasuries and they'll make money on those yields, they knew that Powell was going to start raising rates. And guess what? 12 months later, Yellen started to raise rates. So they knew by telling them the 10-year, go buy 10-year treasuries. Go buy treasuries. You get enough yield on those so you banks will start making money. 12 months later, they're losing money. But they didn't care because, you know, the money that they, think of what they did. They told them to go get the money from the deposits, from your depositors. And then from those depositors, go buy your stocks. Can you imagine? So they're taking, Yellen, I mean, this is unbelievable. So they take the depositors' money, and they're using that money to buy stocks with. And here's what they knew, or to buy bonds with, to buy bonds with. And they knew that the bond market, okay, was going to go against them. And all they knew was, look, we're going to keep doing this because the banks, the depositors, we can tell not to worry. They're covered. They're covered. And then imagine finding out you're not covered. You're not covered. And let me tell you, there's a big lie going on right now. Everybody's covered with everything, right? I mean, do you believe Biden? Listen. I mean, here's a man that yelling. I mean, this guy always lies. I mean, when doesn't he lie? He has no moral sense about the truth ever. And here he's telling people this big lie.
All customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, rest assured they'll be protected and they'll have access to their money as of today. That includes small businesses across the country that bank there and need to make payroll, pay their bills.
That's not true. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. They're scrambling.
Did the Fed drop the ball because it didn't see the risk that was building?
Fundamentally,
that's a lie. The Fed did not drop the ball. They knew in 2014 what the ball looked like. They knew it was round. In 2014, the Fed knew what was going on. The Senate Banking Committee knew what was going on. The House Banking Committee knew what was going on. And they basically told the banks, go take the money from your customers and go speculate in bonds. And don't worry. If it doesn't work out, we got you covered because we're insuring the depositors. Don't worry, we got you covered. Hey, customers, don't worry. But in the meantime, they weren't going to tell anybody the truth of what's going on because they had to get those social bills through. The social bills through. And none of this is against the law. None of it. Is this amazing? So what you do is don't worry about any of that. Join my gang, and we'll teach you how to follow the bond market using our color-coded chart. So whether the market's going up or down or doing spins, you're going to be making money. Check it out for 10 days. It's free.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.